What is up? Welcome back from unknown to unforgettable podcast episode 3. We got a special treat in-house today. We got Dan Chernati. Welcome to the podcast, man.
What's up, dude? Appreciate you having me on. It's super exciting to work with other young people out there killing it and getting goals taken care of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Dan, so where are you currently? Because I know you're all over the place. I see your Instagram stories. I see you're in Brazil. You're in Florida. Like, where are you currently? Where are you at right now?
Right now, I just got back to my spot in Jacksonville, Jacksonville Beach, Florida. So I just got back from Brazil this weekend.
Okay.
And it is freaking hot in Florida. I forgot about that. I was like, hey, let's come back for the summer. Yeah, the best months out of the year to be in Florida, right?
Right.
But now I'm chilling here for another month and then getting out of my spot, selling everything I own, head up to the family farm, all hands on deck for about a month or two, and then figure it out from there.
Jeez, there you go. Yeah, the heat's definitely different, right? Because right here where we're at, because I'm in Phoenix and it is hot, like just dry heat. But I could assume, like, is it more like a little wet or
you stand outside but as you open the door, you already start sweating. It's like, is this a good idea or do I stay inside? Then one of my agencies out in Arizona, he goes, dude, it's only 80 degrees over there. I'm like, what do you mean it's only 80? He goes, dude, it's 104 over here. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
that sounds hot. But like his 104, yeah, it's hot, but your skin starts like pruning. Then over here it's like 80 degrees, but the humidity is like 90%. So it's just like it's like a wet 80 degrees. And
that's crazy.
I remember I was out in Arizona for the first time and I didn't realize what dry heat was. And we had a wedding. And so the night before, we all went out, had some beers and whatnot. And then the next day I was like, am I just like hungover? I don't feel hungover. My hungover, my skin just feels weird. It's like, so I started asking, I'd be like, no, me too. It's just all the skin started proving because it's the dry heat.
So what part of Arizona were you in?
Actually, well, it was not. He was in Arizona. I was out in in Cali, in like Coachella Valley area.
Oh yeah. Dude, that place is
Palm
hot
Palm
too.
Desert. Yeah.
Holy
but again, you don't sweat. You just got to drink a lot of water to keep the water inside.
Seriously, yeah. I wake up every morning. I took it from Ed Milet, but just being able to like hydrate from the start, and like he drinks like a half gallon of water. I'm just drinking like one of these, but it's like staying hydrated is huge. But Dan, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know we've messaged a lot, talked a lot via messenger, text, whatever, but just tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are today.
Yes, I'm just a normal dude trying to be like Johnny. So from a small little farm town in Jersey, not too far from the Poconos, if anyone's familiar where that area is, Delaware Water Gap. I kind of always played sports growing up and whatnot, and always had like hey, you got to go to school to be successful. Like that was kind of like the mentality that I had, and that was kind of ingrained in us. So I did all that, went to school. I was like, hell yeah, cool, this is awesome. Didn't realize what debt was at that point. And then I thought I was going to be like I always played sports, I was always in the freaking doctor's office with broken this, broken that.
Yep.
Hey, this is actually cool. I was thinking like orthopedic stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, that's a lot of school. So it took me a year to figure that out. I was like, yeah, that's not for me. What about physician's assistant? So I did another year thinking that would be my route. So, all right. Well, that's also a lot of school. Not going to do that. And then I went down to physical therapy. Like, okay, cool. That's a little bit less school afterwards. I'm like, wait a minute. Still a lot more school after this. And the pay is not going to be nearly as good for all that schooling. And so I graduated. I have no idea what I was going to do. And with a health science degree, I went to school at Furman University, which is in Greenville, South Carolina. Beautiful area, Greenville. And then so I was like, wait a minute, I just graduated this and no jobs that I'm going to be able to apply for. I'm not even going to be able to pay off my student loans.
Yeah.
And college for me, Johnny, is a whole different topic. But if college was that good, we would not have the freaking student loan problem that we have today.
Oh, dude, it's a broken
just
system.
Freaking nuts. I think society is doing us quite a disservice by pushing people to school when they don't need to. Like, they can do other stuff or, apprenticeship or learn the skill. And I think it's messed up. Hey, people clap and they cheer. You go to school, get out in debt. Nice, you got a degree. You go buy a fancy car. You financed it. Cool, nice job, nice car. You go start your own business with $1,000. Be like, you're gonna fail. It's weird. It's like, where the heck society's priorities at?
Dude, seriously.
But so anyway, I was still calling the trap back then. So I was like, okay, great idea. Let's go to grad school for business, but I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do. Let's load on the debt. So after that, I went to Wake. Got like a pseudo MBA-ish from there. And cool school. I learned good stuff, great professors. And I got the quote unquote awesome corporate job. Like that's what it's like a fun, like business is like a funnel for like corporate stuff pretty much. And yeah, it's cool stuff actually. So I was a data analyst in the healthcare field. So I kind of got to massage my undergrad with the healthcare space. Then I got into the consultancy side of things. And I thought, like, hell yeah, dude, I freaking made it.
Dude, right?
Yeah, it's like, sweet, you know, making 80, 90K a year right out. I was like, hell yeah, I did it. And then I got to do cool stuff, cool people. So I don't want to talk bad about any of that stuff. I lived in Australia for a bit. I was in the Middle East for a little while. Cool spots. So I always loved travel. That was like a big sell for me to more than the money. Like, hey, I got to go travel and do stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sitting down in Charleston with one of my bosses at the time. And he goes, Dan, you're doing a great job. You work really hard for the next 10 to 15 years, and you're going to do really well over here. I'm like, what? I got to do this for 10 to 15 years to do to get a high salary? Like, F that. So I immediately started looking for others. I know for some people, dude, they like that. I'm not talking bad about the people that want that. I just knew, hey, that ain't me. I ain't going to be waiting around. If I'm going to bust my ass, I'm going to do it for myself. Dude, I'm going to build my own legacy, make my own income, even if I have to take a pay cut, no matter what. Instead of working, like Robert Kiyosaki always talks about, you know, you don't want to work for the money. You want to work to learn. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take his freaking advice. I'm going to stop working for the paycheck. I'm going to freaking figure this shit out. I fall on my ass. I was like 26. I got plenty of time to get up. Yeah. So it's better to take it now. I didn't want to. So I think Mark Twain said, dude, 20 years down the road, you're going to be more disappointed at the stuff that you didn't do than the stuff that you did do. Yep. So I'm like, shit, I don't want to be looking down the road, you know, afraid of change today, but then down the road, dude, I didn't freaking change. I'm like, shit. Yeah. Like, that ain't living. So then, dude, I just
was it when you were making going from a corporate job, going from there to like kind of doing your own thing, was it hard? Were there fears that you had? And if so, like, how'd you overcome those?
Yeah, dude. So my fear, and backing up a little bit, I don't think, or do you want to get into insurance? I didn't grow up thinking I was going to be an insurance agent. I'm like, hey, mom, I'm going to go be an insurance agent. Like, it didn't happen.
Nobody doesn't.
You're like astronaut, baseball player, going to be in like Hollywood, Broadway, whatever it is. You don't hear insurance agent. Once I saw what you could do with this, you know, I still help people, right? That's how I was in the healthcare field. Yeah. And you can make a business out of it. I'm like, fuck yeah, sign me up. I'm all in. Totally. And sorry, I cursed a little bit, so I don't know if you have to bleep that out, but my bad.
No, it's all good.
Cool. And then, the fears. Yeah, dude. There was a fear. I've always been the kid growing up that's got crazy ideas. I bought some real estate stuff, you know, sold some houses, or not person, but, you know, had rentals, sold them, that kind of stuff. Some of it went well, some not too well. I bought some in inner city Cleveland. Not a good idea. The numbers look great, but not a great idea. Yeah. But I did that, sold stuff on Amazon, not drop shipping, but design stuff, sell it, all that stuff. So I've always been a kid growing up that just had weird freaking ideas. Like, hey, this is going to do really well. And then finally, because you got to start focusing on one thing, like building bridge to financial success is like building a bridge. I was like, hey, I'm starting to build all these freaking bridges. When I was like, it's kind of like, oh, squirrel, next great idea. And I don't give one of them enough time to actually mature, right? It takes freaking time. And that's where a lot of people attrition. It's kind of like the thing where, sorry, I'm not answering your question yet, but my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. The whole
thing, like compounding interest is like, dude, you probably heard, hey, would you rather have $1 million today or a penny doubled for 30 days? Have you heard that analogy? Yeah. Analogy, but yeah, dude, I had something I read the other day, which is kind of freaking nuts. So if you took that penny and you doubled it for 15 days, you got $164, like virtually nothing after a lot of freaking work. I mean, 15 days, but taking the analogy to work. But dude, you go another 15 days. Do you know how much it's at the end of the month, Johnny?
How much?
The next 15 days, you go from $164 to $5.4 million.
Holy cow. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's freaking nuts. Like halfway through, you're like, shit, it's not working. It's like, no, you just didn't give it enough time to work. Yeah. It's like the consistent effort, totally. Right? But in terms of fear, dude, the question, getting back to that, it was 100%. It was fearful, but I had a bigger fear for waking up 5 years down the road and not taking for being in the same corporate position or whatever I'm doing, and dude, not elevating my life. I didn't want to have like a keeping up with the Joneses, like, you know, hey, I can go go to more school, get paid more, get more. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to wait around to conquer. I'd rather work really freaking hard for a period of time and figure it out. and
Yeah.
still figuring it out. I don't think you ever
Yeah.
have it figured out. And, you know, one person taught me, hey, you never want to be the smartest person in the room. If you're in the smartest person in the room, you're
No,
in the
it's not
wrong
a good
effing room.
idea. Yep.
Um,
Totally. I love that. And I think like even that analogy talking about the bridges, that is huge because sometimes you build one part because that's part of the bridge and you have to build another skill set to be able to keep building the bridge. But then it's like, oh, this isn't working. I'm just gonna move on. Where it's like, dude, what are you doing? There's the myth of the 7 income streams for a millionaire. And so people think, oh, I need to get all this passive income from all these different things. I'm going to be doing drop shipping. I'm going to be doing e-commerce. I'm going to do insurance. I'm going to put my hand in this, that, whatever, get Airbnbs. And it's like, dude, get good at one thing. Get good at one thing. And then the reason why these millionaires have 7 income streams is because they actually diversified. That's why. They didn't become millionaires because of multiple. They became millionaires because of one. And so kind of talk about that a little bit, because I know it's easy right now. There's so much opportunity, especially in the virtual space. There's even in the insurance realm in general, you're like, oh, property and casualty, Medicare, health, life, all these different things, group benefits. It's like pick one lane and stick with it and then go out and build. So kind of talk about how important it is to like just stay in one lane and like really go hard at that and how important that really is.
I think you hit the nail on the head, dude. Like all the millionaires, they started with one. Because like, dude, once you get to the island, dude, now you got money to dump into the other bridges instead of just like, brick after brick after brick. Now you got money to dump into something, dude. And how it's just, money doesn't solve everything, but it sure as hell solves money problems, right? You can you can put 50 grand into something. If it goes south, you don't care.
Yeah.
Like, not that you don't care, but it's like oh shit, that was my last 5 years of savings.
Yep.
You're not gonna have the stress that comes with it, dude. So you get there with one thing, and then you can build bridge 2, bridge 3, bridge 4. Where if you're building all these bridges, dude, you might never get there.
Yeah.
Right, and then that would be deflating. So, what was your question?
Yeah, no, like how important it is to stay in one. And honestly, you answered it because it's huge, because you can build all these things and it's like you didn't even see it all the way through. And that's like a lot of people really like I see is like that's what I've learned is like, dude, just keep sticking with it and building on it.
Yep, and so dude, it's like something that's
so
my bad. Yeah, but Kevin O'Leary. So I heard him speak a little while ago.
He's awesome. Yeah,
at an event. Yeah, dude. And this is how he measures if a business is a good idea or not. You got to give it 3 years. If it's not profitable after 3 years, put your hands up, done, move on. But, for a lot of people, they're just thinking about literally tomorrow or today. It's a freaking long process to build anything.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the people that have been building all these companies, dude, you got to be a bit psycho. You're going to be putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right. But it's would I rather work every day or 5 days for the rest of my life, or would I rather work 7 days pretty much every year for the next 3-4 years and potentially build something? So work is an option.
Yeah.
After that. If you love what you're doing, it's not really work. Yeah. That's why, what we're doing here, dude, it's fun. Like it's awesome empowering other people.
Dude, it's
but building that one and giving people enough time. If people get a road bump, they're like, shit, I got to look for something else.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's called business. If you keep passing up every time you run into a roadblock, dude, you're going to be taking a bumper car down a one-way street.
Yeah,
and it's
dude,
just like,
totally.
It's never going to work.
Huge. So you got into the insurance industry. How'd you stumble upon that?
Yeah, I was just looking for any entry-level sales jobs where I knew the work that I put in, it can be directly correlated to what I get out of it.
Okay. So what did you respond to, an ad, or what did you do?
I think it was ZipRecruiter.
Oh, okay. So you responded to that, and then what was the first conversation that you had with somebody that when did the light bulb moment click of dude, this industry could really change my life?
So it was September 15th, my birthday. So if you want to send me a card, September 15th.
That's 10 days after my wedding day. So
cool, perfect. You probably got a lot of presents you can send me. But how do I know? So at the beginning, I didn't freaking know what I was getting. You just have to, sometimes you got to have almost like some blind faith, right? And say, hey, this is going to work. I found people that are successful, and I'm just going to latch on to what they're doing. Wherever I'm at, I'm just going to latch on to them, because Dan, the new insurance agent, Dan, the new real estate, whatever it is, I know nothing. If I'm going to do my own thing out of the gate, I'm probably going to fall on my face. Why don't I just
Yeah.
learn from someone that's already doing it super damn well? Hey, I got an insurance. I got my license September. I didn't go full time until January of 2020. But I got my license, and it was a long weekend that weekend. So you know what? This is going to be my first day on the field. I'm going to take, a few days off and see, can I make this work? Or do I see this like working? Even if I didn't have success, do I see this as plausible? So I gave it my freaking all for a bit. Dude, the first weekend I went out, I helped a few families. I saw a commission check statement come in on, was like Monday. Tuesday hit my account. I'm like, I just felt good with what I did. I helped someone get what they want. They thanked me, and I left. And a few days later, I'm paid. I'm like, haven't had that much money in my account for a while. Dude, so I took myself out to dinner. I used my debit card, which I don't typically have much money on. Let's see if this works. And it worked. And I'm like, cool. Jeez, the money's real too. So from there on out, dude, I think it's like after I got that first check in, I was like, this works. I know it. We're good. I even had a few no-shows, and I was like, all right, well, that part sucks. And yeah, dude, I got my 2 weeks notice in, and I kind of put my hands up. So I tied up for a few months after that. Just because, I don't know. I never like leaving anyone high and dry. I don't think anyone should. Obviously, your family is always first, but if you can not fuck over people at the same time, don't do it. So I tied up, and then January 1st, 22 came around, and we went. Pretty much been doing it ever since, and it was a rough ride, dude. The first month, not nearly the same results I had the first weekend.
Well, yeah, let me hear about.
Yeah,
let me talk a little bit about, because I'm what I'm trying to cultivate is an open and transparent podcast where people are coming here listening, and they're like, dude, it's not easy. Like being an entrepreneur, because I want to talk about the good and bads, like not bads, but just like the struggles that people go through and how you like what it can provide. Because the reality is that like the stress, like the things that we go through, just being an entrepreneur, owning your own business, like, dude, this is rough. This is hard, especially like I've been doing this for like, this is my 3rd month. So I'm going on. I've done it for, this is the 2nd week of my 3rd month. So it's like, dude, the amount of stress, the amount of heart, like this is hard, not knowing if you're going to get paid or not. Like, dude, it's really challenging. And like, I want to be able to share that with people. Cause I'm like, people think that, okay, entrepreneur is being cool. Oh, you own your own business, you do this and that. That's cool and all. But it's like, dude, I don't think nearly enough people understand like how much stress, how much like hardship, not even knowing, like literally putting all it on the line and hoping that it comes true. Like, and so talk a little bit about what struggles and obstacles you had to overcome when you chose to go from that corporate job to like being an insurance agent or sales in general, starting your own business. Like talk about that, because I don't feel like enough people talk about that.
Yeah, dude. So when I got out of corporate America, I mean, making good money, but dude, this is the first time I've ever had money in my life. So I spent every penny of it. That's a big challenge too for entrepreneurs, is thinking that their money that they make is theirs. No, it's not your damn money. It's the business's money.
Yeah.
Right? If you just eat the business stride, there ain't going to be a business in there. You ain't going to be eating at all. You're going to be under a bridge somewhere. Just as fast as you can go from self-employed to unemployed very fast. If you don't actually work and you're not structured. But the biggest thing for me, dude, is thinking your future is dictated by the past if your present doesn't change. Right? So if you're coming out of a 9-to-5, you can't think like a 9-to-5 person does anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And so that was a big struggle for me. It was like, oh, cool, my day is done, I'm just going to clock out. But like, wait a minute, I'm not getting paid. Right. So you got to actually put in the work. Are you actually working, or are you busy, or are you actually working?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people think that they're working all day, but dude, they're just freaking busy all day. Like I had an agent the other day that goes, I dialed all day, made 150 phone calls. I'm like, okay, let's do a quick exercise here. So you said, what time did you start dialing? They said 8:00, or they said 8:30. I'm like, you're already 30 minutes late on your own self. If a waiter or a waitress is 30 minutes late when they're sitting you, you're going to be furious and you're going to leave. Yep. Why do people why do they have sometimes they have better expectations for someone else than they do their own damn self.
Yep. Yeah.
It's frustrating. Yeah. Like, why don't you hold yourself to the same standards that you want in other people? But getting out of the 9-to-5 mindset. But anyway, working, not actually just being busy, is, the agent made 150 calls, started at 8:30, right? They're already 30 minutes late. They said they dialed till 7, right? So that's 10.5 hours of dialing, right? And,
but 150 calls, man.
Well, yeah. So, okay, let's do an exercise. And so, like, Johnny, let's just say you're the agent for this standpoint. I'm like, hey, Johnny, did most of the leads pick up?
No.
Okay, cool. And on average, including all the leads that don't pick up, how long do you think it takes to make one phone call?
Like 30 seconds, 45.
Okay, cool. For the purpose of this, let's round up to a minute, right? So, okay, so Bob, you told me you made 150 calls, and you're telling me you can make 60 phone calls an hour, right? 60 phone calls, one a minute, 60 an hour.
Uh-huh.
And you're telling me you made $1.50. So, okay, Bob, let's do some math. You worked, let's just call it 10 hours a day. That's what you tell me you dialed for 10 hours, right? I'm not saying Instagram time, but dialed for 10 hours and made 150 calls. So that's pretty much, 2.5 hours of dialing. Like,
Bro.
Bob, what do you do for the other 7.5 hours? And they're like, yeah, right? So are we actually working, or do we think we're working? So getting very productive with our time. But the biggest thing, dude, is just getting out of the freaking 9 to 5 mentality that you can check out just because the clock says it's 5.
Yeah,
it's like kind of the Mamba mentality. The job ain't finished. Hey, you got to work till you hit your goals. If you ain't hitting goals, you got to freaking work.
Yeah.
Just like if you had a boss, Johnny, that, you had a deadline on Monday, Friday's around, and it's a big deadline. Well, you're probably going to be working a little bit on the weekend.
Yeah, you have
to. Why don't we do the same for ourselves? And that's for me, dude, that was the biggest thing to overcome is understanding that this is my business. I am my boss.
Yeah.
If I was my boss, would I keep me on or would I fire me?
Yeah, that's a good question. And that's a reality check. That's a reality check people really need to see. And I'm doing that every single day. Am I doing that? And it's a mindset. Like if you're not in business for yourself, like if you're not treating this like it's a business and you're treating it like it's a hobby, you're not going to make it. Unfortunately, like there's hobbyists and there's people who are on a mission. And that's what I like. That's what I'm about. I'm about this mission because you can literally, and just to talk a little bit about the opportunity of insurance, like you could work like just put your head down, focus for 3 to 5 years, and you could be having lifetime income, never having to worry about what that bill says on it again, how much money that's on it. And that,
yeah, dude,
it's insane. It's dumb. So talk about a little bit of, go ahead.
Can I put one more thing in?
Yeah, totally.
The biggest thing is I didn't have a super strong why when I first started. I think a why is crucial. You got to have whys. You got to have a goal. You got to have structure. But at the end of the day, dude, just like when we're helping out, and anything in sales, if there's no value, no one's going to freaking buy from you.
Correct.
Right. But if there's no value in us waking up each day, we're not going to wake up and go to work. We're going to be lazy. So we have to, I think that's the biggest thing for anyone to do is understand why the F are they doing this? And it can't just be because I think an entrepreneur is cool. Like, no. So you just want to like say you're an entrepreneur to sound cool to other people? Like, F that.
Yeah.
Why are you actually doing this? Where do you want to get to in life? What in the past has wanted you to get out of that situation?
Yeah.
Right. And then write down, if I don't hit my why, if I don't do this, what is my life going to look like? I was way more fearful of that than I was waking up and going to work.
Yep. And those are because goals. I was at a conference the other few weeks ago, and Coach Michael Burt was talking about you got to have because goals. And it's because like you do this because you don't want to go back to where you were, what you were doing, and how trash that was, how like confined you were. You got to have that because goal back, but then also because like, why do I do this? Because I want, like, my wife and I aren't wanting to have kids for years because it's like, we want to build something. So I'm working hard right now so that I can be at my kids' games. So I don't have to miss a practice. So I can coach and not have to worry about, oh, we're going to take the team out for dinner and build some culture. Oh, who's going to pay for it? Like, I don't want to worry about that stuff.
Dude, like, imagine Johnny down the road. You're already obviously a grown man, but let's say, now you got 2 kids and you're 30 and you're a grown man. How weird is it for a grown man to ask, even a grown woman, anyone, but you're a man. So a grown man to say, hey, other grown person, I have a kid's event Tuesday at 3:00. I need to take off work for that. How weird is that, dude? You're a grown man. Like, you should be able to make the own damn decision on yourself with what you got to do.
Yep.
I just think, anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. And so obviously you're going around doing your thing right now. What, like, talk about how the virtual realm, because you're able to do virtual stuff. Because were you doing virtual before or no?
No, so I started
Like,
again in 2020, but since January 2020 to about September, I was 100% in person,
uh-huh.
running 30 to 50 appointments a week. And then you know what, dude? One of my coaches taught me, like, dude, you love traveling. Go figure it out. You're smart, you can figure it out. Well, I'm not that smart, but let's see what I can do. And so, I love traveling. And so since about September, I spent, well, now it's a little bit more, but it was about 21 days in the States before this last weekend. And, it's now the middle of June. I went full virtual. I was like, it sucked at the beginning. I was freaking terrible at it. So I had to go through
Yeah.
the same learning curve that I did kind of when I started out. A different process or same process, but just different environment that I was doing it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been, and dude, it's freaking awesome, man. Just being able to travel where I want, buying tickets to go to where I want to go, when I
Yeah.
want to
Where have
go.
you gone so far? And you're able to work there, right?
Yeah, everything's remote, dude. It's all just over. If you have Wi-Fi, you can, which I found out the tough way when I first started. Like, shit, I don't have Wi-Fi here. This sucks. Like, I had to
Yeah.
take a team call one day at like a restaurant. There's like banging like pans and stuff. The Wi-Fi stink. That was embarrassing on my end. I didn't plan for it. Just like anything. Like if sometimes you can't plan for everything to happen.
Yep.
You just can't.
Yep.
And by the time you do, dude, a few months would have went by before I did everything, and then I would have just wasted that. I was like, dude, I'm inside here. My garbage disposal went out. It's like when a lot of agents want all this freaking training. Like, yes, training's great. Don't get me wrong, but by the time I teach you everything, all the ins and out, you're not gonna remember anyway. So, like my garbage disposal went out inside here in my kitchen. It was like about 7-8 months ago, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. So I called up the handyman, came out, and they fixed it. Like, cool, I'm gonna remember how to do this. And like, dude, 6 months goes by, and the same thing happens, and I'm like, cool, I got it. I'm like, uh-oh. I knew I learned how to do this, but I got zero freaking clue how to. I knew there's a screwdriver, a thing to press, turn,
Yeah.
and dude, I didn't remember how to do it, so I had to call up the handyman again. So that's where I think a lot of us, they just don't go out there and do, right? So I like to
Yeah.
figure, have a decent, like, hey, okay, I got a plane ticket, and I got an Airbnb. All right, figure the rest out later. So I think a lot of it is just getting out there and doing it and making a mess. Like, don't be afraid to go out there and fail.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And
But
so
dude,
what,
for me, it's been amazing being here. So where have I been?
yeah, where
Over
have you been?
yeah, so different parts of Mexico. I freaking love Mexico, dude. I thought Mexico was just a desert for some reason, and it is lush and green. It is amazing. I was
Yeah.
in Puerto Vallarta,
Oh,
Sayulita
so
for a
nice. I've
bit.
been there.
Yeah, it was amazing, dude. And it's just like, we'll get into a second, like why I also love traveling. It's not just because of vacation. It's not actually vacation, but there's a lot of other reasons why I love traveling, what it does for us people. All over Mexico, decent parts of Colombia. Went to some really freaking cool spots in Colombia. Absolutely loved it there. I was just down in Argentina for a decent bit. Absolutely love Argentina. I was sitting here in Jackson. Went out to a nice steak restaurant. Did before I left in like September. Got a steak, a glass of wine, a cocktail, and like a salad. It was like $100 after tip. I'm like, Jesus Christmas. Got to sell another kitty policy.
Yeah.
But then I was down in Argentina, super nice area. It's called Bariloche. It's kind of like you're living in the Swiss Alps. It's a very alpine town.
Uh-huh.
Up in the mountains, lakes everywhere. They went out to a really nice restaurant, one of the nicest ones in town, like super upscale, very nice. And dude,
Uh-huh.
the same exact meal was $13. So it's just like,
What?
yeah. And they brought out 2 filet mignons and some of the best steak I've ever had in my life. It was $13.
$13? Holy
Yeah.
cow.
So I tried to eat there every night I could. I might have
That's
diabetes in a
fire.
few years from that.
Yeah.
Thank God I got some policies with living benefits. So if anything goes way wrong, I should be protected. But I was in Argentina. I went to, I was in Buenos Aires for a bit. I was in Mendoza, down in Patagonia area. And then I went up to just most recently in Brazil. I was in Florianopolis for a bit. And then I just spent a lot of time in Rio. And now
Boom,
my
dude.
flight just got back on the 5th or 6th of this month.
Yeah.
The 5th Sunday.
That's so sweet. So obviously being an entrepreneur and owning your own business has allowed you to do some amazing things, travel the world, but talk a little bit about a little more like what are some of the like things that like you would tell somebody that like hands down you should start your own business now? Like why, like don't wait, like why should somebody, if someone came to you right now and was like, Dan, like I'm debating on if I should like really go in on this business idea or being an entrepreneur, or go and doing like insurance or whatever it is. Like I'm debating on it. What would you tell them?
Yeah. What would happen if you don't do it? Oh, that's my question.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna leave it at that, dude. Like if you don't take a risk on yourself, what does that look like? Right. So then I was like, I got that from John Wetmore, but always kind of killing people with questions, letting them understand what their answer is. Like and sometimes we just need a little push for it. Yeah. Simple as that, dude. What would happen if you
Yeah.
didn't take this? And then people start saying, well, I'd keep doing my job here. I'm like, okay, cool. Do you want to do that? No. Okay. Like, why are we having this conversation? But it's definitely not for everyone, dude. For some people that are just doing it for money, you're in it for the wrong reason. Yeah, the money can be phenomenal, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But if you're in it for the wrong reasons, you're also going to go broke just as fast as you made money.
Correct.
If someone does, again, go back to the why, if you don't have a strong passion for what you're doing, like if you're selling life insurance and you're just in it to make $1, dude, you stop, just quit and don't even do it. If you're selling cars and you don't like driving, or don't like cars, like you should probably not do that. Like, you really need to find that what you're doing is a service to people. Then it comes off as genuine, authentic, and you like doing what you're doing. So, they're the best salesperson. They're not selling anything, dude. They're identifying problems and fixing stuff. I always thought salespeople were just these sleazy people slinging timeshares and cars. And not to say every car salesman and timeshare out there is sleazy, but I've had a few sleazy ones based on my experience. But that's just what I thought sales was. I'm like, I can never do that. And they did. But the ones that do really well, they're providing services to people. So if you're thinking about running your own business, make sure you're passionate about it and just ask yourself, hey, if I don't do this, what is my life going to look like?
Totally. And I 100% agree with that, because you never know what, and here's the thing, you never know what's going to be on the other side. And the bigger thing there is that even if you take the risk and it sucks and you hate it and you're like, oh, this isn't what it turned out to be, whatever, and you fail hard, that job is still going to be there at the end of the day.
That one or another one, dude, like you're going to be able to go find another job to go.
Exactly. So why not? Why not? And that's my goal of this whole thing, is to be able to inspire people, to be able to help entrepreneurs out there, people who are wanting to make that jump and put their head down in their 20s, put your head down and just work and hustle and grind and help people and build that up and be able to live the rest of your life the way you want. Like that's my goal of what we do here.
Dude, I was sick and tired, Johnny, of like, I would just get so happy for Friday to come around. Why? Was that meant happy hour, 4 o'clock happy hour, go party for a day or two, wake up Sunday, a little hungover, and then do it again. So dude, I'm working 4.5, 5 days to just enjoy a day of not even getting ahead, just kind of forgetting what my life is like. Like, no, like that, I was like, shit, this actually is messed up. If you're working and, if you're wanting to get into it, and if it's an opportunity that you have, like to become an entrepreneur, and you need some stable cash flow, keep the job, right? Just go overtime and work the weekends to get ahead until the part-time work supplements or completely replaces what you were doing on a full-time basis.
Yes.
Right? And just jumping in, I don't think it's for everyone, but when people don't, if you're going to do a part-time, you can't just be a part-time. Like I had someone that wanted to do a part-time. They're going to work Saturday and Sunday. I'm like, cool. You go to church on Sunday? They go, yeah. No, okay, cool. And you have any kids events on Sunday? They go, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, if it comes between working and going to the kids events and church, what are you going to do? Well, church and go to the kids events. Got it. So you're going to be part-time. But I just want to make sure we're on the same page. How do you expect it to work? Right. So you got to be willing to give up a lot of normality to have a different type of normality that no one else can have.
Yeah.
Right. And
big time. What's one thing that has helped you get to where you're at today? Like a quote, something that inspired you, like an experience that happened. Like what's one thing that really like helped you like really grow to the person you are today?
Honestly, there's a quote I really like by Nelson Mandela when he was in South Africa imprisoned, and he's going through all this freaking shit in his life, and he comes out a really nice, not just nice, but a powerful leader and a great leader, right? I mean, if you have differences, so be it. But like, right, he wanted to bring people together after all the shit he went through, and it was by William Ernest Henley, an English dude, and he goes, and the poem goes, I might paraphrase it here, but I'm the master of my fate and I'm the captain of my soul. I mean, hey, whatever freaking shit in life goes wrong, it's on you. But also, when you got good shit that goes on in life, it's because of you. Like, F anything outside, external. Like, focus on what you can control. Yeah. So that's always been something that's kind of helped me stay level-headed and take emotions out of a business. Like, oh, shit, okay. Something went wrong. I got 2 minutes to go scream, pout, whatever it is, stomp around, and then I got to think of solutions. Like, it's on me. It's like, I have nothing. If I'm just going to sit about it and weep about it for a month or two, the situation ain't going to get any better. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And then, dude, now you got a pile of bricks raining down on you. And then, shit.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
that's one of the biggest things, dude. And it just always understanding what your why is. You know, it is, you know, I love my mom and my dad to death, love my family to death. I just don't want to, you know, I don't want to go out to dinner anymore and take a girl out on a date. You know, back when I was in a corporate job, and I'm like, okay, cool, get a bottle of wine, run to the bathroom real quick, check the bank account. Like, oh shit, am I jumping out the window, or do I have enough money to pay for this?
Yeah.
And
Totally.
I just the same concept. I just never wanted to have to worry about stuff that matters to me a lot. Traveling, taking time off to spend with my family. Like, for me, that's big. Running my life how I want to run it, and
yeah,
how I want to run it changes over time. But just the concept, just a constant reminder of that.
And being a business owner is not easy to start, but I can assure you that it's 100%, and I'm not there yet. I haven't been even been able to experience like half of the stuff that you have, but I know that that's kind of where I'm headed and where I'm going. And so if somebody were to like want to reach out to you for advice or kind of just follow you on your journey, like how could they reach out to you?
Yeah, for sure, dude. You just hit on something too, dude. But what you're doing right now, man, you're taking control, right? You're not. So I used to sit around and just wait for stuff. Hey, when this happens, I'll be good. If I just have an extra $5,000, I'll be out of it, and the world's gonna solve all my problems. No, dude, the only one that's gonna get you out of the freaking hole is look in the mirror. It's you. Take action. So props on you for that, dude. This is freaking awesome. I'm excited to watch you blow the hell up here, man. Just because you genuinely give back to people and care about people.
It, man.
But if someone wants to get a hold of me, either hit me up on Instagram, just D Chernati, D for Dan, and the last name Chernati, Chernati. I live next to a naval base. Helicopter going up here. Can't tell if you can hear me or not. Or just shoot me a text. Just let me know who you are. My number is 973-903-0137.
Boom. There it is. So if you guys have any questions, if you loved it, whatever you learned, drop in the comments, but also reach out to him and just kind of share if you learned something and gain value from this. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Dan, it's been awesome, dude. You're awesome, man. Keep killing it, bro. I love watching your Instagram stuff and all where you're going. And I'm like, dude, where is this guy? But it's so inspiring for me because I'm trying to do that with my wife too. So keep killing it, man.
No trying allowed. You're going to freaking do it, dude.
No, yeah, dude. You're right. You're right.
If you're going to try to do something, it ain't going to freaking happen. Go do it. You got this. I appreciate you having me on, dude. Thank you.
Take action. Yeah, appreciate you, man. And for you guys watching, thank you guys so much for listening to here. And my goal for this podcast is to be able to help inspire the person inside of you that wants to take that step, the young person who doesn't feel empowered. That is what I'm trying to do with this and give back to the people who are exactly in my situation. So if you love this, drop in the comments what your favorite part was, give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed, do it already. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon.